What's good? So, I got through a new stack, and once again, I realized that I'm slightly retarded because I forgot to have one in there that I had listened to. It just wasn't in the immediate stack, so that's why it wasn't there. But if you're wondering what we're listening to in the background, this is Kira Thungle with Servants of Chaos. This is a gift from my uncle, recent gift. Uh, I'll be talking about this when I actually get back to talking about CDs. Anyway, big stack today. Big stack. Kind of unintentional, but I just wanted to get through a decent amount of the shit that I got. So, yeah, here we go. First one is the one that I forgot to talk about in the last video. This is Hooded Menace with Darkness Dripping Forth, or Darkness Drips Forth. This is fucking awesome death doom from Relapse. I don't know where exactly the band is based out of, but this shit is really good. Killer artwork all over this thing. And on top of it, you got this like swamp olive green merge, according to what the jacket says. And then you just got lyrics, band with credits. Super good. If you don't know what Hooded Menace sounds like, I'd wager that it's a safe bet to call them similar to Druid Lord, if anything. Like I said, really disgusting, dirty, just nasty sounding death doom. Great riffs throughout the whole thing. The guttural vocals are intense. I actually got this in a Relapse grab bag, and I think this is their most recent album as well. I didn't actually look on Metallum or anything, but most recent album, I got this in the Relapse grab bag along with that Christian Mistress and all that. So there's some good and bad things that came out of getting that grab bag. But anyway, yeah, check it out definitely if you haven't. It's Hooded Menace with Darkness Drips Forth. Alright, next one. Strap yourselves in because there's a lot of this band about to come up. But this is Imperium Decadence with Und die Weltward Kult und Leer. That's a fucking mouthful. Yeah, this is their first album from 2006, I think. That's what it says on the gatefold. But yeah, first album, super necro-sounding production, not necessarily Transylvanian Hunger-esque sounding production, but still pretty damn raw, at least as far as Imperium Decadence goes. This is probably, honestly, my least favorite of their work. And that's not to say anything bad about this album in particular. Here's the gatefold. Everything is in German, so it's completely fucking useless to me. There's no lyrics or anything, just an inner sheet, and the album is on black vinyl. But yeah, not really a whole lot to talk about with this one. There's some really good songs on here, like Fields of Silence, Halls of Lust, For Those Who Sleep Eternally, are all pretty good tracks on this thing. Yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Just their first album, not really hints of where they're gonna end up as far as like their more recent releases, but it's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, there's some pretty decent songs in this whole thing. But yeah, that's Imperium Decadence with German words. Next, we got Imperium Decadence with Dämmerung der Zenarian, I think. I probably butchered that, but it's whatever. You want people to pronounce it right in different countries? Make it that language. That's stupid. I don't know what it translates to. I'm not gonna bother looking it up. It's too late for that now. Coolish artwork. There's the back, and again, the gatefold is completely in German, so it's useless to me. But this is a release from 2007, sophomore release. This is definitely hinting more towards where they ended up, more than German words did, for sure. This is less necro sounding, but at the same time it does have a certain like level of rawness to it, which definitely lends itself really well to the album. It is by no means something to skip over. There's better songs on here than there was on the first album. Into Breathless Sleep, The Night Whispers to the Wise, Hordes from the Dark Star, definitely. Super good shit. And again, this is just on black vinyl. But yeah, this is, again, really good album. It shows where where they ended up, rather more so than the last album did. Yeah, there's, again, not a really whole lot to go over since the packaging is super simple, but check it out, definitely, if you haven't. This is definitely more for your average black metal fan than their newer stuff is. But yeah, that's Imperium Decadence with Dämmerung der Zenarian. Alright, next we got Imperium Decadence with Meadows of Nostalgia. This is their fourth album. Yeah, their fourth album from 2011? 2013, my bad. This is their fourth album, 2013. Really, really good stuff. This definitely shows where the direction that they took on their next album. This is a little bit of a step away from Procell of Athens, which is still my favorite Imperium Decadence album, and I'm convinced always will be my favorite Imperium Decadence album. There's really not much topping that. This shit is mastered at 45 RPM, but it doesn't bug me that much, and this is just on black vinyl. All the center labels are the same. They've been the same for every single one of these that I've shown, and it's in a single sleeve jacket, which bugs the hell out of me for a double vinyl release. But even on my shitty little turntable, this thing sounds really, really good. Mine is hand numbered 124 out of 250, so I feel really lucky to have this thing. Even though I don't think this sells for too terribly much on Discogs, or hasn't really in the past. But this shit, really, really good. I'd argue this is probably my second favorite. Fan of this for probably my second favorite Imperium Decadence album. Really good, melancholic sounding, atmospheric black metal. It's not DSBM, and it's definitely not like just straight up like Caladan Brood or Utstadt level atmospheric black metal, but it's still really good. It's a good mixture of melancholy and atmosphere, and it kind of invokes exactly what you see on here, almost Panopticonian, but not quite Panopticon. Panopticon definitely has, Austin Lund definitely has his own sound going for that, but the artwork invokes something similar to what I think of when I listen to Panopticon. But yeah, this is really, really good. I recommend that you check it out. If you're gonna listen to anything, definitely Burgo Banis is probably my favorite on this whole thing, but that's Imperium Decadence, Meadows of Nostalgia. Alright, next I've got 4 copies of the same album because I am a collector scum, and I was super fucking stoked for this when it came out. Still really good album. Imperium Decadence with This Man Abyss. Love that super spacey cover art. It almost reminds me of Dark Space, except more colorful. There's the back, then the gatefold with lyrics and all that. Yeah, this is definitely more of a... hard to describe. It's definitely more of a spacey atmospheric than Meadows of Nostalgia or Procell of Athens ever was, but that blends itself really well. And there's also a lot of this is really what's the word I'm looking for? This is like really Roman themed, which is weird considering, again, the cover art, but whatever. It's super, super good shit. I'm, again, big fan of this. This one is just on black. This is limited to 450 worldwide. And like I said, I got every single color because I'm kind of a douche. But yeah, never gonna part with any of these. This is really, really good album. Patrick thinks otherwise, but Patrick's been wrong about things before. You know, wrong opinions and the such. But yeah, good shit. I recommend you check this out with a word of caution because some of the songs, or not the songs, the atmospheric, like, interludes, Cyclos and Pantheon spells kind of drag on, and I feel like they're kind of unneeded. But yeah, check this out if you haven't. Imperium Decadence with Dismanifest. And just to show off that I do have every single color, we got Opaque White, which in my opinion makes no fucking sense with the album cover. Limited to 250. Then you've got Crystal Clear, limited to 200, which is fine. It's crystal clear, so it doesn't really clash too much with the album cover. And Gold, limited to 100. Alright, now we're in for a blast from the past for me, and the whole reason why I don't order from indie merch anymore, actually. This one sells for quite a bit on Discogs. I think this is actually like one of, if not my most expensive or pricey vinyl in my whole damn collection. Quite frankly, I'm not sure why. And it's this press too. But this is Infinite Annihilator with the Elysian Grand Evil Gallery Arc. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Kick-ass cover art. Across the whole thing. I love this album to death. I still listen to this fucking album. Like, to this day. It's like a once a month kind of listen. I'm not normally super in the mood to hear Infinite Annihilator, but I make a point to listen to this once a month. Not necessarily this, because for whatever reason, the ending to Baptized, Bastardized, and Sodomized, and the intro to Behold the Kingdom of the Wretched Undying, with the sound clip from The Vitch, and the beginning where in Behold the Kingdom of the Wretched Undying, where it goes, I'm gonna train her dry, is missing from this. I don't fucking know why, and it makes me unreasonably angry. Because it's like, not only did indie merch screw me, but like that's part of the intro. I don't understand why it's gone. Anyway, this is kick-ass deathcore. Ranting aside, kick-ass deathcore. I'm super happy to own this. I will always be happy to own this. You got the gatefold in there, more of that kick-ass cover art, and on the inside it says, Gloria ad Ecclesiam Philoraptus in nomine Deorum. Glory to the church, rape children in God's name. Classy. Yeah, super good, disgusting, raunchy-ass deathcore. And then, again, indie merch kind of screwed my expectations because I was expecting something a lot more vivid looking than this, but that is the vinyl. I forget what exactly it was labeled as, and quite frankly, I don't really care. But yeah, I forget how much this goes for on Discogs. I just know it's super pricey. Ridiculously fast drums. Dickie Allen's, the riffing on it's pretty good. Dickie Allen's vocals, he's still like my vocal idol. It's ridiculous what this man can do, and he does overuse tunnel through it. I will be the first to admit that, but it's still really, really good and really impressive. I wish I could do half the shit that he's able to do on here. When I heard the one part in Soil is Stillborn, the Crayorax is what begins to splinter. Holy shit, that was the selling point. So, don't order from indie merch, but check this out if you fucking haven't. Support these guys however you can. That doesn't involve ordering from indie merch. This is Infinite Annihilator with the Elysian Grand Evil Gallery Arc of 2016, since I almost forgot that part. Alright, next up we've got Inquisition with Ominous Doctrines of the Perpetual Mystical Macrochasm. I can remember that off the top of my head because this is probably my favorite Inquisition album. Tome edition, so it's super nice in blue, and you've got what is, I'm assuming, a wood carving of Adam and Eve at the tree with the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. I just had a tiny Snickers fall at my feet. Yeah, this shit is really, really good. Inquisition kills the game, always, always, forever. I don't give a shit what Dagon was acquitted of. This is just good music, and I'm not going to sell this. Maybe trade, but never sell. This comes with a booklet on this end, and then the original cover art right there. Super badass looking. I'm pretty sure that's the Antichrist Kramer artwork, if I'm not mistaken. Vinyl is just on black, but if I'm not mistaken, yes, the D side has an etching of a pentagram with Samael and Lilith on there. Super cool, super badass. This is mastered at 45 RPM, I'm pretty sure, but that doesn't detract from my enjoyment of it. Inquisition really shines when they're at their slowest and fastest. Their more mid-paced songs are kind of take it or leave it, but this shit is really good, especially like Desolate Funeral Chant, Cosmic Invocation Rites, Command of the Dark Crown. And then you've got this big-ass poster of the original artwork. Nothing to really show off in the booklet because it's just thanks and all that. But yeah, this shit is really, really good. This is, honest to God, some of Inquisition's best material. This is right up there with Nefarious Dismal Orations and Into the Infernal Regions of the Ancient Cult. This is really, really good stuff, and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't. And if you don't like Dagon's frog vocals, just try and listen to the music itself, because the music itself more than makes up for his goofy-ass vocals. I fell in love with the frog vocals the minute that I heard them. But yeah, this is Inquisition with Nefarious, Ominous Doctrines of the Perpetual Mystical Macrocosm. Alright, next up, we got Inquisition with Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith. Also remembered that one. Boom. Yeah, this, again, is really, really good. This kind of picks up on the, what I want to call a low point that they left us with on Obscure Verses for the Multiverse. But that, by no means, is a bad album. This just picks up tenfold with some of the most headbanging ass tracks that Inquisition has ever put out. From Chaos They Came, Wings of Anew, A Black Aeon Shall Cleanse. I'd say From Chaos They Came is still probably my favorite track on this whole thing. Gatefold, which is the flag artwork that I have. Dagon and Incubus, badass pictures. Printed inner sheet with lyrics, and then Dagon and Incubus. And then you got this inner sheet, which is just a whole hodgepodge of whatever. Almost reminds you of the Paulo Girardi artwork. And then that side, and then this comes on, what do they call this? This is opaque red smoke or something. Super badass. I love this album to death. Again, Wings of Anew is probably my favorite track on here. And again, if you haven't listened to this for some reason, go check it out. I have the same opinion as Kane. I'm convinced that you cannot listen to Inquisition as far as music-wise and claim to be a fan of black metal and not like Inquisition. Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith. Next, we've got one of the records that is in the worst shape in my whole collection, which is bullshit, because I spent $25 on this, not including shipping, and the seller said that this was in very good condition. This is Iron Maiden with Power Slave. I don't need to describe what Iron Maiden sounds like to you guys. Yeah, this is Behold. And it just comes in this. And then on top of that, Look at this sleeve. This piece of shit sold me this album like this. I'm still angry about it. There's pen marks all over it, like a kid was drawing on it. Jacket's ripped. There's like people writing on here. I don't know what from. There's like highlighter. I absolutely fucking hate it, but this is some of Iron Maiden's best material. And vinyl plays just fine. So that's, in reality, that's all that matters. But still, the dude selling it to me for that much was try to get my money back. Tried to. Some of Iron Maiden's best material in here. Like I said, vinyl plays just fine. Really not much more I need to say about it. You guys should all know Power Slave by any and all means. 2 Minutes to Midnight. Flash of the Blade, probably the best 2 Iron Maiden songs in history. Well, 2 of the best Iron Maiden songs in history. The best one still goes Hallowed Be Thy Name, and I will fight somebody on that. But yeah, Iron Maiden, Power Slave. And the last but certainly not least is Iron Maiden, the seventh son of a seventh son. Again, I don't need to go into detail about this, and also you got Number of the Beast Eddie back there. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Peace of Mind Eddie, but I could be wrong. Again, there's no need for me to go into detail about this. Just black vinyl, same as Power Slave. This one actually comes with a printed inner sheet, and this sleeve is in okay condition. Lyrics on the back, Eddie artwork right there. This is their synth rock ballad album, but you know what? I feel like this album gets way too much hate from people. There's some really, really fucking catchy songs on here. Can I Play with Madness? The Prophecy, Only the Good Die Young. Killer tracks. This thing doesn't get enough love from people, honestly. Maybe I'm just biased. In fact, I'm probably biased, but yeah. Don't need to describe it. You guys should know what Iron Maiden sounds like. That's seventh son of a seventh son. Alright, and that's it for this stack. I made pretty good time as far as I'm concerned. I will be back relatively soon with something else to show. Once we get through vinyl, I'm going to go through my box sets, my 10 inches and 7 inches, and then we'll get back to CDs. And then I'll get to showing off my new stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you stuck all the way through it, I appreciate it. And deuces.